NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Perlo Wisdom and Rico and Barry.
What do you think of that?
That's and maybe Rico and Barry and Perlo.
I just because I don't want you guys to feel obligated to have to make it every time. So if you're here, the intro covers it, and if you're not, no big deal.
That's cool, man.
So hey, thanks for joining me. Well, some big news. I'm coming to Toronto, baby, from the 10th to the 15th, and I'm gonna see you in person, hopefully.
I didn't know you were allowed in Canada.
Yeah, no, I'm totally allowed. I'm good. I got a passport and I have no criminal, nothing, no nice, DUIs. Buddy. I think a DUI will keep you out of Canada, actually. Like, it doesn't take much.
I don't know about that.
I know some dudes that have, gotten turned away at the border because they had, Dewey and stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's not me, man. I've fortunately, knock on wood, have stayed out of trouble. Whatever. So, if you're just joining us, we're just BSing. It's NHL Nightly with your host, the Sports Beard, a.k.a. Beard Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. That is my name. I have Rico and Barry in Barrie, Ontario, and joining me right now. And I think Perlo is maybe coming. We might get some Edmonton representation. I might have to eat a little crow. I might be worried about my Seattle Kraken pick, but we got new backgrounds. We got some new intro, and no new outro yet. I got to work on some stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, as we speak, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know if you've been able to see any of that game. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh. I think that Pittsburgh has been outplayed in every facet of the game. And, of course, my main man, Hot Take Hockey, comes in to pop in. He's doing his live stream, too. I really appreciate him popping in. I was going live 10 p.m. Eastern, regardless of what anybody else is doing. That's what we're going to try to do every day to recap the games, talk about them. Rico, did you get to watch any of the Tampa Bay Nashville game?
I watched a bit of it. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be high score. No Vasilevsky against UC Saros was the matchup. Probably the NHL had rigged up before the emergency surgery. But
yeah, Jonas Johansson wasn't on their bingo card.
No, definitely not. But I mean, Kucherov looked awesome. Hagel looks pretty good too. I got him in our Hot Take Hockey pool for the year, so it was nice to see him.
League. Oh, you ended up with Hagel. I was wondering. I was like, I had 3 assists from Braden Point. I was like, you can't go bad with that.
Yeah, Point's awesome, man. He's gonna have a good year. I think Braden Point's just gonna step right up, and he's gonna become one of the maybe top 10 guys in the league. It seems like.
Well, I would argue he is already. I was in Tampa when he scored his 50th goal last year, and he just had a whale of a game. I think he needed 2 or he was good. It was like I knew he was gonna get it. You could tell by the way he was playing. He's an unbelievable player. He's one of the most underappreciated superstars, and I'm with you. And I'll tell you what, I had some concerns about Tampa. They went away. I will say this: my takeaway from the game was Tampa dominated the first 20. Then they went napping for a little bit, and really, if it wasn't for a couple of bad penalties, I think Nashville might have won that game. But they regrouped, and they looked like they're every bit of a playoff team, in my opinion. So we're going to see what's happening. Anyway, sorry, I got a text from the Spain. Anyway, apologize about that. I wasn't expecting, but it's work stuff, so I wanted to answer it.
Off topic here. Did you listen to Spittin' Chicklets, the post-mortem about the Chicklets Cup?
Yeah, I did. So So I really wanted to make it to the Chicklets Cup this year. I wasn't able to. It's such a great. I mean, so I'll just to tell everybody, it cost me $350 to fly to Toronto from Alaska. Nothing. Cheap. So I might be going to Toronto more than I ever have been able to. It was going to cost me $4,000 to fly to Buffalo. So I just couldn't do it. And Biz confirmed today that he is not retiring. So he will be playing in some more. It looks like they're just going to refine it a little bit better. I'm thinking that I put together a ball hockey team, a sports beard ball hockey team, which I will manage because I can stick handle, but I did not really grow up playing hockey or anything. So, but maybe I can get somebody like Hot Take Hockey, John Viveros, who played high level, I think, juniors and stuff. He was a D, and we can get some guys. We've got Perlo here. I think he's got his camera off, so I'll wait for him to give me the thumbs up in the chat or whatever to bring him on. Or,
well, my claim to fame playing hockey, I was captain of my junior B team for like 3 years. So,
well, maybe you can be on my ball hockey team.
Well, let me try ice hockey again. I started out a league. I'm playing in a 35 men's, 35 and over on Friday nights. So I haven't played in a couple. It's been a couple of years. I've just been playing pickup hockey, but I'm getting back into a league this year. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time getting back out on the ice with some refs.
So here's what I was gonna say. The show is gonna go Tuesday through Friday. Here's Perlo. Let's bring him in. Perlo Wisdom. Perlo, did you get to see the intro?
Yes, I love it. Fantastic. Let me turn the light off in the back here. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, you're good. I'll let you get straight, but you're fine. I'm not going to take you off screen. I just I'll
be a second.
Okay.
I thought Perlo was going to take Kevin Hayes there in the draft. I thought that was.
Yeah. So Perlo has apparently never played fantasy. He confessed to me. So he didn't even draft enough goalies. So I don't know.
I didn't know either.
I don't know how somebody does math for a living and doesn't know how to operate an app. But anyway, Perlo, I got to give you a lot of shit for not.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, you're fine. It was evident when I looked at your team.
I should have drafted defenseman. How do you trade? I don't know.
You can trade, but Perlo, don't go through. There's a crap ton of available players still, even though we're in such a huge league with so many players. I'm going to bring
up the app now.
So you just put in a waiver claim. If you want to drop somebody, just put in a waiver claim. Nobody's going to make waiver claims the first week. So you just go in there and you put in a waiver claim. After the show's over, I'll show you how to do it if you have any questions.
Oh, yeah, show me how to do it.
I don't really get it.
You don't know how to do it?
Well, I tried last night. As soon as I picked, my last pick was either going to be Chandler Stevenson or William Karlsson. Then I was thinking, I'm like, I should have grabbed Stevenson instead. So I put in a request. I added, and it's still showing pending on my page.
Oh, yeah. So because the draft's over, it's going to take like 2 days for waiver claims going. It's like football. So you just go to the players that are available on the screen here. And also, Perlo, when you're drafting, you could have just looked at my team and it would have showed you who you had. So I ended up with Draisaitl with the 4th overall pick, which I was like, I'll take a guy Draisaitl at 4.
Crazy, dude. As if you got Draisaitl 4th overall.
So I have Draisaitl, Point, Hintz, Boldy, Bratt, Perron, Schmaltz, Konechny, Eberle, Fox, Dunn, Barry, Orlov, Ekholm, which I couldn't believe nobody drafted him. He was way late in the thing. Taylor Hall, Dylan Strome, Torrey Krug, and Anders Lee are my bench, and I have 3 goalies because I picked up 3 because it's always good to have 3 because invariably you have a goalie get hurt and as big as a team. So I have Ilya Sorokin, Jeremy Swayman, and Gustafsson. So I felt like I thought I got the forward core really good. I got the D top end with Fox pretty good. If I had to say I'm weak on anything, my bench and my D aren't great, but I got the goalies really good. So hopefully that evens out. So real quick, just to recap, we're going to go over these games. Obviously, we're playing obviously we have obviously we still have Pittsburgh going on against Chicago. It's 2-1. It's going into the third. I'll have these games on. If we have multiple games, I'll have multiple games on. We'll talk about them live. If no one's with me, I'll just go play-by-play mode and chat with the chat. Obviously, Hot Take Hockey, 50,000 subscribers plus. He's live. People are going to be in his stream. I'm hoping he doesn't stream all night, so we get some, people coming on over to watch. I'll take the jerseys down right behind the Chicago and the Pittsburgh Penguins jerseys over my shoulders, which I can change the view here real quick so you folks can see at home, are the Seattle Kraken and Vegas Golden Knights. That will be the evening game that I will sit through. I do not expect you guys to stay the whole night, but I will probably ride it through the remainder of the game unless it's a blowout. These are the only 3 games of the day. There was some hockey news. Most devastating hockey news for me as a U.S. hockey fan was that Barry Melrose is stepping down from ESPN due to Parkinson's diagnosis.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I was in my feels. I was in my feels big time. If for those that don't know, I feel like Barry Melrose is the Don Cherry without the controversy. Obviously, I know there's been some controversy with Don Cherry, warranted or whatever. I personally like Don Cherry. I thought he was great. I only got to see him like on once a week when we got, CBC games. So, you are the legend, Hot Take Hockey. Thank you so much. He shared the stream. So we're getting some people in. Hopefully we get. So I just wanted a quick comment on Barry. He's stepping away with a Parkinson's diagnosis. ESPN did an awesome 8-minute tribute where the great one narrated it. Really cool. It's on Twitter. You can check my Twitter, which is in the bio there. Also, I will add in the ticker your guys' Twitters. I just ran out of time, but it'll be in there permanently. So whether you're on the show or not, we'll get Perlo's Twitter out there and Rico's Twitter out there. Perlo's doing a lot of gambling stuff. You can follow him on TikTok as well. I see his stuff every day. Yeah. Playoff baseball. I had a 3-leg parlay today on
Did you?
Underdog. Yes, I did. And I know Rico does a little gambling. I needed half an assist for Crosby, half a point for Taylor Hall, and half a point for Vince Dunn. I put 15 down. I'd win 90. I haven't hit any of those things, so we'll see. Yeah, Salty, it's just new. Salty's in the chat. Yeah, it just came out today that he has the Parkinson's diagnosis. I think they've probably known for a while, but they waited till opening day. So here we go. By the way, I'm repping Hot Take Hockey's merch. He now has merch. You can check out his merch shop. We are a long ways from merch, but we will be there hopefully sometime too. So opening night, NHL, we're going to cover the games live and in person. Right now we're in the third period. Connor Bedard's debut, he already has an assist. I think the Pittsburgh has actually looked like crap. They've had 2 favorable calls and reviews go their way. And they look like the oldest team in the league. So, hey, Igor, thank you for showing up. Appreciate you coming in. Looks like we're getting a bunch of people over from the Hot Take Hockey side of the fence. Really appreciate him sharing it on Twitter and getting people over here. So this is going to be a Tuesday through Friday thing, 4 days a week. I know I said NHL nightly, but it didn't say every nightly, just to give everybody a break. And, I've got other things I've got to do. So we're just super excited. This is going to be up. We're getting HTH raid right on. Yep, I appreciate you, buddy. So we're getting started in the third period. The goal is to not be a competitor. We're just going to talk shop. There are a couple other NHL news. Then we'll just talk a little bit about this game that's going on. This is going to be great. So Connor Garland given permission to look for a trade. I think this more has to do with just there's a lot of teams with cap really up against the cap. Edmonton's one of them, Perlo, and your Maple Leafs too. Rico, a little bit too. I think they're going to carry in 21. So third period's underway. Chicago 2-1, 1937. Shots are, I think, in favor of the Salty. I'll be streaming every day of the week, Tuesday through Friday, going forward in the NHL season. Just covering the games. Just to recap it for people coming in late. Coming in the games, covering the games that have been played. We'll go live 10 p.m. Eastern and then I try to watch 6 to 7 games a day, but it'll be a little bit better for me to watch games in the comfort of my living room for most of the day, and then come in here and cover the second half of the games. Now, this game started at 4, so it's a little later game. So we have the entire third period, and we have the Seattle Kraken, Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas is dropping their banner. They are the defending Stanley Cup champs. So, Connor Garland was the news. I did talk about Barry Melrose, and did you guys want to talk about anything specific, waiver claims or anything? I don't want to be the one chatting the whole time.
Oh, well, I think Colorado did a really good job of picking up Jones there on waivers from Carolina. That was a nice little move.
Jones.
Caleb Jones, defenseman.
Oh, Caleb Jones was on. Caleb Jones.
They picked up Caleb Jones on waivers. I thought that was.
I thought he was with Chicago.
No, he signed a tryout with Carolina. And
this is Seth Jones' brother?
Yeah. Right. I thought that was a really nice move by them.
I got some input too when you're done.
What's that?
I was going to say, did GM in Buffalo, what's his name? Kevin
Adams.
Kevin Adams. Okay, so Kevin Adams was on Sportsnet 590 today talking about the Dahlin extension and how he got locked up, and maybe that Owen Power's up next. But then after I started hearing people talk about it too, is, one of the big reasons, and not the big reason because Dahlin's an excellent player, but an important guy that went over to Buffalo and established these guys to become veterans on that back end is Eric Johnson. I guess there was stories out there that he's getting these guys into saunas, healthy eating habits, learning how to be a pro. The guy that won the cup, Eric Johnson, going to Buffalo. And don't be surprised if you see Owen Power get signed before the end of the year this year. And he was, just telling people that, Buffalo's a place that people want to play. They want to stay. They're going places. So having Eric Johnson there, I guess, has helped a lot of that decor and them locking up Dahlin, maybe Eric Johnson, maybe a little whisper in Kevin Adams' ear a little bit that, this guy's ready to be locked up. So a little voice in the room there, but a little something I heard coming out of Buffalo.
Yeah. No shocking to me that they're going to keep Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin. If you didn't know, Rico's talking about Rasmus Dahlin's 8-year, $88 million extension, $11 million per, worth every penny in my opinion. And yes, as our friend in the chat, Salty, an Avs fan, says, Buffalo is the youngest team too. They are. I'm telling you guys, I think in 3 to 5 years that Buffalo Sabres team is going to be winning cups. They got the goaltending, they got the forward core, they got the D, and what else do they need? They really have. They just got to put it all together. And I think it's going to be a huge disappointment if they're not a playoff team this year. And I would be surprised if they're not. Look, we're looking Tampa, no Vasilevsky. We'll see. I thought they looked really good the first 20, but then they kind of took a nap. Again, they won 5-3. There was a couple bad penalties taken by Nashville. Again, Nashville's a little bit of an older team too. I don't know if that's the best measuring stick for Tampa. But look, Boston's going to take a step back. They're not going to win 135 or get 135 points. I think Toronto got better. I know Perlo disagrees. I think Rico probably feels like they did. So we'll see. Real quick update mid-game. Chicago's on the power play, 58 seconds left to go. Again, they have looked so much better, faster than Pittsburgh. It should be no surprise that this team without Bedard and Korchinski and all these young guys that are playing beat Pittsburgh last year when Pittsburgh had a must-win and they were in the playoffs and they couldn't beat them. So also Mrazek, I don't know what was going on with him in Toronto. He has looked great tonight. I've been really impressed with what's going on between the pipes for Chicago there. I still think obviously they're going to be a really lousy team. But they've got a lot of young talent too. And, Buffalo might be playing the Chicago team a couple of times in the playoffs if they meet in the Stanley Cup finals in 5 to 6 years. So, Logan, nothing against Nashville. I just feel like, Logan Hacker, our friend, he's a noted Tampa Bay fan. Nashville had some young guns in the lineup too. Yeah. Roman Yossi is not young. Luke Shen is not young. Ryan O'Reilly is not young. These guys are all in their 30s. So we'll see. Looks like we got another penalty call here. I think Kelly Sutton. Oh, Pittsburgh. Oh, they're pissed. I don't know why Letang is criping because they got a double minor called on him tonight. Clearly slashed in the face, Tyler Johnson. It wasn't a high stick, but I'm no official. I know this is difficult. They reviewed it, and they got it wrong. They
got this one wrong too. So I guess they gave one to Pittsburgh.
What?
I guess they gave one to
Pittsburgh.
they gave one to Chicago here because that's not a penalty either. So.
Well, I didn't hear what you said there. What were you referring to?
I said that they gave one to Chicago here because that was not a penalty.
Oh no, Chicago has a power play. Well, I will tell you, the officiating has gone Pittsburgh's way the whole game, and they've gotten away with a couple of things they should have been clearly called on. Yeah, including at goal where they were offsides.
I'm just saying that play there, Pittsburgh did not deserve a penalty for that play. So I think they kind of evened it up.
Yeah, I didn't see the penalty. No, they've not evened it up. Chicago would need to get 5 more power plays, in my opinion. I'm not saying that Pittsburgh has gotten a bunch of unfair power plays. They just haven't been called for a bunch of stuff because they are the oldest team in the league. And Chicago is one of the youngest and fastest. So we'll see. I will say this. If I was a Pittsburgh fan, I haven't noticed Carlson. He has not jumped off the page to me at all.
No,
offensively or defensively. Obviously, defensively, that might be a good thing considering he's not typically known for his defense. But I haven't seen much of him. I don't know. He hasn't looked. He looked like last year. He was so noticeable with the Sharks, even though they were a lousy team. So I would be a little sketch nervous if I was a Pens fan, just looking at what's going on here against, arguably the worst team in the league. And yes, granted, they have this phenom that we all know is going to be an incredible player. He already has an NHL point. So, Salty, you have a blackout. Oh, that's rough. Oldest roster, age 30.6, Pittsburgh Penguins. ESPN's putting it on the chart right now. So I assume you guys are watching the game on Sportsnet, TSN, CBC. Is the game being broadcast? What's it being broadcast in Canada?
Sportsnet here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Sportsnet on the ESPN feed. Yeah.
Who's calling? Oh, so are you getting the ESPN call then? So are you getting Ray Ferraro and McDonough calling the game? Or are you getting?
I'm not sure. I'm not listening to it because I'm listening to you guys. So.
Oh no. Okay.
Wait a minute.
That's our feed. That's our feed. You're getting Sean McDonough and Ray Ferraro.
They have 45 seconds remaining.
Yep, that's Sean McDonough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Wow. So you guys are getting Sportsnet's broadcasting, but they're not calling the game.
I was on Sportsnet on the box, but now I'm on my tablet watching it. So when I was on my Android box, it was doing the Sportsnet, but now I switched to my tablet, and it's the ESPN feed because I'm on some site.
Okay. And hey, guys, we can show highlights. I just have to find it on Twitter and look at the feed. There was a nasty goal by Hagel and a shootout on a penalty shot that was awarded, rightfully so. I actually thought that game was well officiated. I didn't see any penalties. I thought that were ticky-tack. They called good penalties. It was both ways. I felt like it was a pretty even game. And hey, man, Perlo, before you came on, we were talking about Kucherov and Point and how we believe they're in the top 10. I think it's not even close. So
Who's that? What? Who's in the top 10?
Kucherov and Point.
Top 10 players in the NHL?
Yeah.
A Point for sure. Kucherov had a rough year last year, but yeah, I would say that he got.
Didn't he have
104
points?
Yeah, but he couldn't do any. He could only play offensively last year. He couldn't get back, and that was because they're playing man on man. Now they're playing a zone again. Well, at least they were against Nashville, anyways. That's much better for him. It's good that they're playing a zone rather than a man on man because Kucherov can't keep up to a man on man. Neither can Stamkos. So it's good that they're doing it that way now. But
yeah, he played all 82 games last year, and he had 113 points.
Yeah, but he was leaving his man constant.
He was a -2, which is not terrible. But
you know,
in 2019, 2020, he was a +26. So it does feel like in the 16, 17, 18 year. But yeah, hey, Braden Point, I was there the night he got his 50th goal. I just was like, I think he was 2 behind or 3. I don't know. Anyway, we were like, he's getting it. He's getting this. He's getting the 50. And the whole game, I was telling this to Rico before. And so it's going to be real interesting. I'll just say this after watching what I watched. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning's demise is maybe a little bit premature. I think they're easily a playoff team because here's the thing.
I have them missing the playoffs, and I'm not too happy that I said that.
Okay, after game 1, you're already like,
I'm not just game 1. Not just game 1. I looked a little deeper. By the way, I changed my my play on Seattle. I don't know if you noticed that on Twitter.
You have them in the playoffs now?
Yeah, I got them in the playoffs now.
And I was just okay. You know what? I'm starting.
And I actually have them winning tonight too. So.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope that happens just for the storylines. But I was just telling Rico before he came on, I'm starting to worry about Seattle making it. So we'll see. We'll see. Isn't it funny how it goes?
I changed my mind about Seattle, and now you're worried about Seattle.
Well, I'm concerned, but I still want them to make it, and I'm still sticking with my pick. But we'll see. Chicago is buzzing, 11:58. Thank you, Andrew Ford, for letting me know I was behind. Rico, I can take you out if you need, man. No worries. If you got to do something, if you got to get a beer from the fridge real quick, we'll pop in the full screen mode real quick with me and Perlo. We're going to get Perlo's internet situated. So
yeah, why am I'm all sketchy.
Yeah, you're really grainy. Again, I think I'll send you an Ethernet cable and maybe we'll upgrade your camera one more time.
Yeah.
Or, if you've got an iPhone, you can do it from that. Because honestly,
it's not looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It looks like you're in a fog.
The thing is,
it clears up.
If I go on,
it clears up from time to time.
It looks good though. It's only on this stream where I have this problem.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Rico comes in crystal clear and he's 3 times away from you. And we meet in a server. So I don't think location has anything to do with it. I think it just has to do with maybe your internet upload speed or something. I'll have to do some research. My main man Hot Take is fighting it. He's on assignment in the US and he's in a hotel trying to use stuff. So,
I need Logan, 2 more goals by Pittsburgh here.
You need 2 more. For the over. Do you have the over?
No, I have Pittsburgh team total over. I have Pittsburgh in regulation. I have Pittsburgh money line and Seattle +1.5 on a 2-pick parlay. and over and Pittsburgh money line and over 5.5. That's
I think Chicago is going to tie this. If you're just joining us, I can give a little play-by-play. It's Chicago 10:58 in the second or third period. They're pushing Pittsburgh. They're in Pittsburgh zone, but Brian Russ gets it out, chips it up mid-ice. A little dump and chase. They're going to go for a line change. Recovered in the back by, I do not know all of the players on Chicago yet, so bear with me. I want to say Kevin Korchinski, but that was not who it was. I think 56, whoever 56 is for Chicago. I believe that's Connor Murphy. Let me look at this.
But Chicago's looking way more loose now. Pittsburgh looks nervous.
Yeah, well, they should be nervous because Chicago eliminated them last year. So, looks like we lost Rico. Hopefully he's back.
Yeah,
Chicago just tied it up. 9:55. Is that Taylor Radish? Who it scored the goal there? I think Radish, right? So a little bang bang play, dumped in front by Seth Jones, right to Gutman. What a pass by Seth Jones. He just skates 2-2. We got a 2-2 hockey game. Let's edit the banner. Hopefully we get Rico back. He can chime in. And like I said, stay tuned. We're going to be doing the Seattle Kraken Vegas Golden Knights game 1. We'll obviously talk about the other games. We were just kind of recapping Tampa and how they look like a playoff team. Perlo was here we go. We got Rico back. Let's get Rico back in the stage. All right, Rico. Oh, nice. Rico. Nothing more clearly Canadian than Rico standing in his kitchen, popping a nice, cold one.
Dude, I just finished making a turkey soup from Thanksgiving, and I finished making a ham soup because we had a roasted ham and we entertained this year. So we had like 16 people at our house this weekend. So
Nice.
I've just been listening to podcasts and sports radio all day, making soups and, hanging around the house. And tomorrow it's like get my hockey stuff ready for Friday.
Is that when the Leafs play Friday?
No, I got to get my own hockey stuff ready for Friday.
Oh, your game. What do you
Dude,
need?
I got to put a visor on my helmet. I've got a visor, but I'm missing the hardware because the last few years I played in men's leagues and pickups and stuff, I wear no visor. But now that I'm playing in a league and everything like that with refs, I'm putting a visor on my face and wearing a mouth guard. I'm not screwing around. I'm not a young guy running around there anymore with no visor on. I got to watch my eyes now. So I don't know. I had no fear. I played without a visor after junior. As soon as I took it off, I was like, never wear one again. It was like the Ryan O'Reilly out there, but everybody wears visors and cages now. So I don't know.
I played in when I played men's league, it was the lowest level they had in Anchorage. It was so low they got rid of it. It was a co-ed league, no slap shots, and you had to wear a full cage, or I wore the visor split like lower cage. And I was fine with it because I might have lost an eye in that league if I didn't have all that. Yep, Father Time remains undefeated, Igor. I agree.
For sure. And I'm playing center too, so I'm going to be taking draws against guys. I'm like, man, I don't know. This is my first time.
You're going to love it, dude. Hopefully it's chill and everybody just has a good time.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's not like a bunch of dudes playing like it's game 7 of the. So a little, not to offshoot your men's league story, but the first men's league game I played, there was a benches clearing brawl, and there was enough of us I was on the bench. I was the only player on the bench. I did not leave the bench. I was like, yeah, dude, this is co-ed men's league, the lowest level in Anchorage. I am not getting in a fight over this game.
Dude.
You know, like,
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a bad teammate, but I just sat on the bench like, hell no, I am not getting into this.
Yeah. No shit, man.
Hey, I can explain to my boss. Yeah, I took a swing at some girl in a co-ed men's league. You know, that's how I broke my femur in 8 places.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So I hope your men's league is awesome, Rico.
Yeah.
You know, throw a chill men's league in the chat for Rico.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of the barn, man. We're playing in a small town outside Barrie in some old barn too, and like it's just I don't know. And I looked at the roster. They have me playing center, and we got 2 lines, man. 2 center, 4D, 2 left wing, 2 right wing, and a goalie, man. So it's like, dude, right in the fire.
I will tell you, Rico, when you're playing on a team, that was our team. We barely had 2 lines. You get a lot of skating whether you want it or not. So you'll get into shape, bro. If you feel like you're getting a little doughy in the middle, that hockey's going to whoop your ass right back into shape, man.
Well, I tried on my pants, man, and they fit over my belly. So it's all
that's good. I got to admit, I don't think my hockey pants fit me anymore. And I started playing when I was 34, so I don't have any excuse because I'm only 40.
Right. Perlo, did you play any hockey back in the day, Perlo? You're thinking of putting a ball hockey team together.
I did play back in the day, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I played,
what position?
I played up until bantam, and then.
Were you a forward or D-man or a goaltender?
I played both. I played forward and D, whatever they wanted. Right D, right wing. Yeah, I was didn't play center. I was right wing or right D, whatever they wanted when I played, yeah. So I was a better right winger, but the thing is I was usually the fastest guy on the team. So they would put me on D because speed from the D was hard to find. So I played a lot of right D. I wasn't very good as a defenseman, though. I would have been like just thinking of a good defenseman that can play offense but can't play defense worth a crap. I certainly wasn't
like a Shane Gostisbehere, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
or maybe a John Klingberg, really good
skater. Klingberg would have been better. Gostisbehere could probably play better D than I could. Klingberg is right there, yeah. Something like that, yeah.
Ghost still get some ice time in Detroit this year, I think.
Who?
Well, yeah, his last 2 years he's played a lot better defensively. A lot.
They're going to need him on their. I just think they're young guys, Sider and Evanson they sent down, so they just haven't matured yet. And Sider, I think, is a great defensive guy. So. We'll see. Really good shot on goal by Malkin. 6:22, still 2-2. 33 shots for the Chicago Blackhawks.
They're putting on some pressure here now. So why couldn't they have been playing like this before? They could have destroyed this team.
I think they finally are found in their game. But again, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Chicago. Quick sticks. They're breaking up passes. They're not kowtowing to this Pittsburgh team at all. And oh my God. I will not be sad if Chicago goes in there and beats Pittsburgh opening game in Pittsburgh with that young roster. I just want the Bedard, and I want Bedard to get the winner, man. Oh, where are you passing it to? Get it back to Bedard. Oh, man, a pass in the slot. Almost scored by Connor Bedard there. 25 for Chicago. My bad, guys, I didn't plan on doing any play-by-play for this game, so I didn't look at the roster or anything. I do know Taylor Hall's wearing 71. I'll tell you, Taylor Hall has looked slow to me in this game, which is a bummer because I have him on my fantasy team, and 2, somebody's stick broke. Do we got a defenseman without a stick? No, I think everybody has a stick. Must have been a Pittsburgh player. So again, if you're just joining us, NHL Nightly, we're going to go Tuesday through Friday, the remainder of the hockey season. sometimes Perlo and Rico will be with us. I'll play the intro again on our way out tonight. I'm going to be hanging out with you all night through the Vegas and Seattle game. I don't expect Rico will stick with us that late because it is a late game, 11 Eastern puck drop. But probably because they did 3 games and they started they did a solid by starting the Tampa game at 5. But that's, for all those Tampa people, it's insanely early. Oh, a goal by Chicago! Chicago is up 3-2. Let's go, Blackhawks! Are you kidding me, man? I think that was Dickinson. Yeah. So ESPN hasn't flashed it up yet. But number 16, I want to say it's Dick. What a play. A little back pass from wow, dude. And you know what? Yeah, I don't even put it on Jari. What a shot. Right above the pad, just past the glove as he's going left, right. Yeah, Dickinson. Great shot. Russ, Letang, Crosby on the ice. Oh, what a goal, dude. 5 minutes to go, 4:25 left, 3-2 Chicago. They had 8 multi-goal comeback wins, second most in the NHL.
Jason Dickinson.
Andrew Ford is saying in the chat, Bedard's first goal will be an empty netter. Well, Jason Dickinson, yes. I thought I even said Jason Dickinson, but I wasn't sure. I thought it was him, but I wasn't sure. Anyway, what a goal. A spectacular pass. So they had a face-off in the Chicago zone. Chicago won it. Athanasiou chips it down in the end, takes a big hit to do so. Played in the back by Jari. Taken out by Brandon Russ. Russ chips it. It's turnover in the neutral zone. Dumped back in by Chicago. Erik Karlsson goes back. He loses the puck to a forechecking Taylor Radish. Taylor Radish is an animal right now. He's 3 men on one. He's all over Radish or all over Karlsson, but Karlsson finally breaks it out, gets it to Russ. Russ chips it over to Gensel, and Crosby's on the ice there going to change. Back to Chicago, 3:45 left in the third. Okay, again, I didn't plan on doing play-by-play, but here we go. For those of
You're good at it, man.
What?
You're good at it.
Yeah, I used to practice it a long time ago when I was a kid. I always wanted to do this, but it's so much fun to talk to you guys, and I want your opinions on everything, so I won't do it constantly. Another great shot on goal by Chicago. They are really coming, and I can imagine Pittsburgh's going to – that's offsides. I don't know how that's not offsides. Oh, and Malkin shot the puck after – or Crosby. Somebody shot the puck after the offside whistle. That's a no-no. You don't see that. He even get in a fight for that one. Yeah, Letang is Letang letting anyone join. Yeah, Logan, later in the night, I'll maybe take callers if we have questions and stuff. Especially when the game's not on, I could drop in the link, and for sure that would be always a part of the show. We want to bring in the fans, people that want to chat. We got 5 people in here, so we got some leftover remnants. What a goal, man, by Jason Dickinson. An absolute good shot. I don't fault Jari. He even got a piece of it with his glove, but we'll see. So far, it's been exciting. I thought the Tampa game was great. It was 5-3, but really that game could have went the way of the Nashville Predators. Rico, did you get to watch any of that game?
That Nashville-Tampa game? Yeah. Paul looked pretty good. Kucherov looked pretty good. Point looked pretty good. I think they just got to hold the fort until Vasilevsky comes back. It feels like they're going to play in a lot of over games. Like there's going to be no 2-1, 3-2 games with Tampa. It's going to be with that depth on the back end. Until I see it back there, I don't know if they're going to be fully the Tampa Bay Lightning. Once Vasilevsky's there, you can get away with those mistakes by the D-men. Sergachev and Hedman are there, but there's not much behind them.
So real quick,
I had Tampa -1.5 in that game. Barely got it, but
real quick,
Perlo,
let me cut you off before I forget this point. I think Vasilevsky being out is going to be a boon for the Tampa Bay Lightning because they are going to get him back in like 2 months, and he can play 30 games and go into the playoffs rested? And is there a goalie that you'd rather have between the pipes in a big game situation right now more than Andre Vasilevsky?
Be like a Bobrovsky type thing in Florida, rested beginning of the year, all of a sudden ready for the stretch. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what? Even in our fantasy league, drafting Vasilevsky, if somebody picked him up as a third guy. Speaking of injured players, because I think that's why a lot of people didn't take Ekholm, because they saw the little injury tag beside him, but he was kind of
day-to-day, though.
Yeah. It's like Rantanen. I had last pick in a draft, and I got Mikko Rantanen, and he practiced today, and he's playing tomorrow.
Rantanen didn't get drafted, and you picked up Rantanen last pick in the draft?
At number 12. Yeah.
You picked up Rantanen at 12. Yeah, no, I kept thinking it was a mistake, man. Why? I'll tell you right now, I would have picked him up if he was there after. I don't think he would have made it to the second round, but you said you had the last pick in the draft, but I would have picked him up. We're talking our fantasy league. We are in a YouTube Legends League with Ate Kaki and some other players. Real quick, Pittsburgh 3-2. If you're just joining us, Chicago Blackhawks are up. Chicago just iced the puck with 2:35 left. It is a 3-2 Chicago lead. I don't think they're too worried.
I got a hot take for you.
Yeah.
What if Chicago plays a little above where people thought they would play as a team, not just as an individual with Bedard, but as a team, and all of a sudden Patrick Kane comes into the picture?
I could see him signing back in Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised.
And he goes back to Chicago.
Yeah, I could see that, Rico. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago's even if they're just looking for a winger, like say they have an injury that they need to fill. And I'm not convinced that here's my thing with Kane. I just think teams are up against the cap. I think it's going to be really hard. I think it's going to be a team that has an injury that's going to be able to afford to bring him in for decent, because I think he's going to command $4 or $5 million. So I think he's not just going to be a give up. So real quick, we'll go the last 2 minutes here. Pittsburgh, it's a 150 minute and a half here. It's 3-2 Chicago. Pittsburgh has an empty net. 144 left to go. They've dumped it in the corner. It's Brandon Rust and Jake Gensel working in the corner against Dickinson. Chicago wins it, chips it up to Foligno. Foligno shot at the empty net but missed. Oh, it's recovered, and Chicago scores. Number 94. I'm sorry, in your program, I don't know who that is. But Nick Foligno assist, and he missed the net. He should have hit it, but was it Foligno with the goal? They're giving Foligno the goal, or I don't know. Anyway, Foligno wearing the A. I think Foligno was a great ad, by the way. That Foligno Perry line is going to be a nightmare to play against, and apparently so. Let's see what our boy Pat McAfee has to say about his Yens or Penguins. I'm so, you know what, too, just because to see Bedard get a win in his first game, because the kid's going to be special, man. And he looked every bit of it. So, 94 is Corey Perry. 94 is Corey Perry. Corey Perry seals it with the empty net. Oh, Pittsburgh's in trouble, boys. Pittsburgh's in trouble. I didn't notice Carlson. Their problems last year were secondary scoring, and tonight Rust and Crosby scored. I'm going to lose my parlay. Well, let's not speak too soon. Because Pittsburgh has a minute to go, and they almost scored. Riley Smith of the Vegas Golden Knights Stanley Cup champion, Riley Smith, now on a Pittsburgh Penguins, had a really good shot and missed the net, just hit the net wide. 54 seconds left to go. Pittsburgh is working an umbrella. They have the empty net again, and they are putting a lot of pressure. Definitely no quitting. Lars Eller got a good shot on goal there, but it was saved by Mrazek. By the way, Rico, I'd love for you to comment on this. This is not your Toronto Maple Leafs, Peter Mrazek. He's looked really good.
Hey, man, just a different team in front of him, obviously, than Toronto. It's just everybody's snake bitten. It's been in that Leafs net lately. You know, Anderson left, who was probably the best goalie Toronto's had since Anderson's left. I mean, who else is there? Jack Campbell? Like, who's going to have that starting job in Edmonton this year? I mean, Ilya Samsonov has another 1-year deal. I hope there's a lot of people that think he's going to pull it out. Maybe Toronto will sign him to maybe a 3, 4, 5-year deal coming out of this. But I mean, Mrazek's, I don't know, man. He played good tonight, but could be one night too.
I'll just say this. As a guy whose team had and drafted Ilya Samsonov, the talent is there. I think he's good enough to be on par with Sorokin and Shesterkin if he put his mind to it. And I think Toronto knows it, and that's why they picked him up. I just think the Caps were ready to move on. I think they knew that there was going to be Kemper, and I just think McClellan thought he could fill the void with free agency. And I don't think he overpaid for Kemper, but we're definitely to the days where you're not going to overpay for goalies. What Hellebuck got, by the way, we haven't talked about that at all because that happened, 2 days ago. What did you guys think of by the way, 4-2 final? I'm going to edit the score, but while I'm doing that, what did you guys think of the Connor Hellebuck, Mark Scheifele 7-year, $8.5 million a year extensions? Go ahead, Rico.
Connor Hellebuck, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they did that. That was probably the most surprising thing I've seen here. That they signed Scheifele and Hellebuck. Now, I would guess that they went around the league and realized Winnipeg was the only one giving them that. That's the only way that they did what they did. No other team was going to give either one of Hellebuck or Scheifele that contract. And Winnipeg gave it to them because they're screwed if they don't keep them. So that's what I think there. And money was the factor. Personally, if it's me, I'll take $1.5 million less a year on a shorter term contract to not play in Winnipeg. That's me, but sorry. I don't know if you've obviously never been to Winnipeg, and I don't advise you ever go there.
No, you're good. Go ahead,
I've been to Winnipeg. Oh yeah, I've been to Winnipeg. Yeah, there's not a whole lot there. There's the Polo Park Inn, there's a Blue Bomber Stadium, and there's the Jets Arena, and then there's a bit of a downtown. And watch what time you go there, time of year. But I think Cheveldayoff's a smooth talker. He definitely talked these guys in there, but he had to get this deal done because you can't rebuild in Winnipeg right now. They got good guys back from Dubois. They got a decent team there, man. Ehlers is a little bit banged up right now, but I think the Jets still have everything there. You know, Blake Wheeler's aging anyway, so who knows what he's going to do in New York this year. He signed a minimum deal. Not a huge loss with Blake Wheeler. I think Scheifele, I saw him play for the Barrie Colts, man. They had good success when they were here. And you know what's striking to me is they named Adam Lowry the captain, which speaks a lot about that team and in the room, and it makes me think that obviously Scheifele wasn't the problem, Lowry wasn't the problem. Maybe the problem's gone in Winnipeg. So I'm excited for those guys. I'm glad they stayed because I love Winnipeg. Being from Canada, I'm 10 hours away from there where I grew up. So I always have a soft spot for Winnipeg, especially getting a team back in the NHL. You can't rebuild there, man. So that's awesome that they stayed. And however it went down, it's awesome.
I have to say, I agree with both you and Perla 100%. I believe that they right now are a soft market, and I heard they're having problems selling out games, and they need to put a winner on the ice. And I'll say this too, guys. This is where we're at right now. KQ from Elkhorn, Manitoba, thank you for being in the chat. I appreciate you. I don't think they can afford to rebuild right now. I think they need to bring people in. And look, I'll say this. Nobody had Florida in the finals last year. And like you said, Rico, they added Velarde. They added
Iafallo.
I like both those players. And they weren't getting much from Dubois, in my opinion. I still am not convinced that the LA Kings are going to regret that trade. Yeah, I'm rocking the HDH hoodie, Rick. Got to support my guy. He sent all you guys over here. Thank you so much. We got so many of you in the chat. If you're just tuning in, this is NHL Nightly with your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, aka the Sports Beard, aka Beard Lebowski. I'm here with my main man, Perlo Wisdom from P-Pal Picks, and Rico and Barry all the way over in Ontario. So we got every aspect of the world and countries. We're going to be going 4 nights a week, Tuesday through Friday. We were just talking about the Mark Scheifele, Connor Hellebuck's surprise extensions. I do believe that Winnipeg needs to keep producing a winner, but I also think that this is not a ridiculous thing. And the other thing is, it's still if they go on a run, the fans are going to be there. So I'm not denying, but if you're a fan, you're not going to pay your hard money to go watch a team that's not playing great, especially the ticket prices. I know there's not a lot in Winnipeg, but that makes me think people should go to the games more. Because what else are you doing, man? It's Winnipeg. Go to the game, right? Like, go to the game. But I truly
I didn't hear that they were having trouble selling it out. I'm surprised that Winnipeg wouldn't sell out that arena.
Yeah, I just heard that. I don't even know if it's the fans coming into the games or if it's other financial. I don't know, man. Like, I have no idea. So I just heard that there was some stuff with them and financing. So we'll see. And again, there's so many people want to be owners. Somebody could buy part of the Jets, so they don't need to be moved. Winterpeg, as Rick Smith says, our man Rick Smith's an Ontario guy. So
yeah, Winterpeg, man.
Yeah, I laugh because I think they get a lot of the same weather we get here in Alaska. So, yeah. So again, I think that the West is prime for bear. You do not know what's going to happen. And I don't know if you guys saw Jason Gregor talking about this stat. Since 2014, there's been 5 teams different every year to make the playoffs that didn't do it the previous year. So Caps and Pins didn't make the playoffs last year. They could be playoff teams this year. We're going to see some teams not make the playoffs that made it last year, and we're going to see teams that didn't. So, again, Buffalo. We talked about Buffalo before he came on, Perlo, because we talked a little bit about the Rasmus Dahlin thing. I truly think they're going to be a team that it'll be a disappointment if they're not a playoff team, man. So, it's going to be real interesting. Close this real quick.
As far as Winnipeg is concerned, I mean, Cheveldayoff has like the toughest job as a general manager that there could be. Most players don't want to go to Winnipeg, so if you can get a guy like if you get those guys signed, like especially Hello, you really have no choice because you have it's a difficult time that any other player. Who's going to go to Winnipeg in the free agent market that is as good as Hellebuck? It's not there. So he has no choice but to pay up the dollars. And you kind of got to root for him because they have everything against them. If they could ever win a cup, it would be absolutely incredible.
Well, Perlo, they have the goalie. They have a goalie that could go and win a cup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why you have to pay Hellebuck. I'm surprised they got him for 8.5 to time.
And Jeremiah's analogy of Florida is an excellent one because Bobrovsky is a Hellebuck. And, Florida's got key guys in that lineup that took them all the way. Brandon Montour stepped up for that team and, he's hurt. Ekblad's hurt. But, I mean, if Florida could do it, I could see Winnipeg being one of those teams because you got goaltending and you've got players there that can play up and down the lineup. And I'm intrigued to see, how Lowry handles his captaincy there. He's a big boy. So, I'd like to see Winnipeg. Not a lot of people are giving a lot of love to the Central this year out west. A lot of them are thinking maybe three teams there make it. But it'd be interesting to see Winnipeg, and there's a lot of intriguing teams out there.
Keep the glare off the baldness there. I'm with you, man. I do. I think that we never know. And I also say this is a product of where the NHL is with the cap. They weren't going to get fair value back for Scheifele and Hellebuck. And I think that in this case, Cheveldayoff did a service to he did a service in a good way for the fans of Winnipeg and the Winnipeg Jets organization by not just dumping those quality players, because they're both still real. I think Scheifele had a career year. Now, Hellebuck was not good in the playoffs, but he was great in the regular season and .915 save percentage. So I'm down with so I don't know. We should be. The puck should have dropped on the Vegas game. Are you guys getting the Vegas game on, or
I know they had
right now
they had the red carpet thing going on, and then they're doing the Stanley Cup ceremony and everything. You know how Vegas does it.
Oh, dude! If you guys ever get to go to a game there, it's absolutely worth it. Okay. Yep. I got it. I
prefer to go to a game there for sure.
So I think Bob Luchusin, the guy who's calling it for ESPN, we got Leah Hextall, Bob Luchusin, and AJ Malesko on the call for ESPN, is one of the most underrated play-by-play guys. I'm a huge fan of him. So it's going to be, and like you said, so yeah, no puck drop. I got it live. It's a little difficult when you're producing everything, and Hot Take Hockey does this. You got to do everything yourself. It's so. But I like having you guys. You can help fill the time for me. I want to hear more from you than my own voice anyway, because I know how I feel. Let's keep the conversation going. We're talking about the Winnipeg Jets. Again, you just weren't going to get fair value back. And it's good on him for staying. You know what, guys? I get you want to go to a contender. I think Cheveldayoff made the argument that, the contenders can't – if you don't think if Edmonton could have had Hellebuck in some way, they would have taken him. Hell no, they'd have taken him in a New York minute. But what they give up, they're going to lose what – they're already like thin. If they lose anybody that there could depend – if they lose McDavid or Draisaitl for any length of time this year, I think they're in trouble.
Which contender can afford to pay what Winnipeg paid them?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
None. Did it for the money. No doubt about it. They chose Winnipeg for the money. I don't blame them. If you got a family, you got everything.
Yeah, dude, they just got – hey, are you going to turn down $65 million? 8 times 7.
I would live in Winnipeg for $65 million, yeah.
I'm not.
Compared to $45 million, which is likely what you would get from somebody else. $20 million just might convince me to live in Winnipeg.
If you would have told me that Mark Scheifele would have got 7 times 7, which is $49 million, I would have said you're high at 31 years old.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
He got 8.5. So, but I think with the cap going up and Winnipeg can afford to keep those guys too. So I don't think that hurt. Again, I like the deal for the Winnipeg Jets, and I like it for the players. They got good deals, and Winnipeg is good. They still have Kyle Connor. They still have Morrissey, was a Norris finalist, like you said. I love the additions. I thought they got really good. How often now in the NHL do you see a hockey trade where you're like, if Dubois plays his ass off and lives up to what everybody thinks he can be in LA, I just don't think he will. I think Deneau is better than him, and that might come to fruition on the same roster. But to get Velarde and Iafallo, I think that's such a good deal, like you guys said. So Vegas, like you said, they're doing it up right with the Stanley Cup banner. If you're just joining us, it's opening night NHL. the scores were earlier 5-3 Tampa over Nashville and 4-2. Connor Bedard gets his win on the road against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And they tried to hand it to Pittsburgh several times. Just saying. Anyway, not Chicago, but the officiating early in the game. So anyway, there should have been a goal that was waved off for offsides. It was clearly offsides. We didn't get to see the offsides that the league did, but it was. I saw the puck was over the blue line. And then the other thing was there was a double minor that Pittsburgh took that they waved it off. Apparently, you don't have to have control of your stick anymore. I don't think it's the worst call ever, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But needless to say, the Chicago Blackhawks got the equalizer and then ran with it, got the 3-2 goal, the nice Jason Dickinson. And yes, Soul Search Gurus coming in. Right back. Connor Bedard played great. I was impressed. He was a little he tripped a couple times. Thought he got hit from behind, but I was really impressed with Connor Bedard. What are your thoughts, Rico, about Connor Bedard?
A guy I follow on Twitter, he was saying earlier tonight that Bedard came through the tunnel at the beginning of the game and he was just so pumped. Like he looked just ready, and he went through and he had to turn around. The camera was on him and he forgot his stick.
Yeah, he did. He did forget. They have video of it. He forgot his stick.
Yeah, so I mean, the boys are happy for him. It's wicked. And another video I saw too is when he got to center ice and he faced off against Sidney Crosby to open the game. I saw that the ref looked at him and said, "Welcome to the NHL." And then they dropped the puck. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
man.
he said it was Sutherland, Kelly Sutherland. He said to Sidney, like, "Hey, good to see you," or whatever. And then he said to Connor, "Welcome to the NHL." It was actually a pretty cool moment. And then he commenced to being an absolute horseshit official the rest of the game. But anyway, They have a tough job. If I start getting on the referee rant, you guys just start doing the woo warning, warning, warning. I don't want to skew negative. I think they have a hard job. It's easy to mess with them. We should just kind of move on from the officials being a car. But you guys know, I tweeted out tonight. I said they can't call a penalty, a double minor. That was a double minor on Pittsburgh. See Mark Mathot's finger for evidence that I'm correct. Because, Sidney Crosby notoriously slashed Mark Mathot's tip off the end of his finger, and it wasn't even called a penalty in the game, and he wasn't suspended or fined post all this. Anyway, I just find it funny who they decide to pick on and who they don't. So,
Mark Mathot's a beauty Twitter follow, eh?
Is he? Yeah. I probably follow too many people. I need to start weeding out, but I'm pretty sure I follow him. So I appreciate you agreeing with me, Soul Search. I don't feel like I'm crazy. I thought it was clearly, and then they kept talking. Dave Jackson gets on there and, he always chills for the officiating anyway. It's so funny to watch him backpedal because he was basically like, yeah, this is offsides. We just haven't seen the angle where it shows it clearly. And we never got to see it. And then Dave Jackson's like, well, it's like, okay, yeah, Michael Jackson can't moonwalk as fast backwards as you are on this comment. So
that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So Vegas dropping the banner. So who's the Sportsnet crew tonight working the mid game? Or are you watching it on the pad and you're getting the ESPN feed? So you're seeing PK and Mark Messier.
I don't know yet.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, your feed hasn't popped up yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. But, to tell you the honest truth, I usually don't pay attention to the crew. So I'll
Oh man, I loved it. So look, Mark Messier again. Man starts talking about leadership and stuff. It's like, all right, yep, God, coming from a pretty good source, just one of my absolute all-time favorite players. And then PK is entertaining. I know he's not biz, but I really enjoy him. And they kind of are hard on him, by the way. Poor guy. He never won a cup.
Subban we're talking about? I love Subban. I think
Yeah,
Subban's
no,
great.
but I mean, they are.
You know what it?
They just mess with him quite a bit.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Perlo doesn't pay attention to the crew or anything because he pays attention to the players because you can't bet on the crew.
That's very
Can't
fair.
bet on the crew. That's right.
That's very fair.
That's true. I can't bet on the crew. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But I do like Subban. I love the way he brings that new flavor. I like what he does. I think cool. I love people that are able to go outside of the box. And PK does it really, really well.
Yeah,
and
he's got a great personality, man. He's good on TV too. And bro, you know what? He has really good style, and he wears what he would wear, what you would see him out. He doesn't wear the suit and tie thing, which I just think is a breath of fresh air. Who cares? I mean, McAfee wears the sleeveless tank top, the black tank top. Because he's kind of a heavier set guy, and he's like, I just don't, he doesn't. And why sweat his butt off? He's talking about sports. He's not like an anchor, a sports center anchor. He's just a guy BSing about football with his buddies and stuff. So, and hockey. I got to give the McAfee show huge credit. They had Bedard on. Now that they're on ESPN, I think he has his own sub podcast, That's Hockey Talk, that's run from Pat McAfee Incorporated. So they do talk hockey, which is like, I've been wanting this for a while in the US because I'm like, I don't even know anybody that likes the NBA. It's not like it was when I was a kid. And there's a lot of good players and stuff, but they move so much. And it's like, you can't really even get invested in a team. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just don't know that I can enjoy it anymore. And it's all pick and roll, ISO. It's just different than it was when I grew up. I grew up watching the Showtime Lakers and even the Bulls with the triangle offense.
I'm not a big blue ball fan myself. I'm not a big blue
It's
ball
just tough to watch now. And I like college ball in the spring and stuff. And honestly, even the NFL, if it wasn't for the Red Zone channel, I think it's slow and boring. I'd rather watch soccer, to be honest with you. I know people are like sacrilege. But
no.
Hockey is the sport for me because
I would rather watch Australian rules football. Have you watched Australian rules football?
I have not watched it. Is that a lot like rugby, isn't it?
Oh, it's way better than rugby, dude. In Australian rules football, if you get injured on the field, they don't stop the game.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but yeah.
I know it takes leather balls to play rugby, man.
Yeah, rugby is tough too, but Australian rules football.
No pun intended there.
No, dude, you're you're not talking about the equipment that you play with in the game. You're talking about the equipment you're equipped with from birth.
Yeah.
Because I think if we played that sport, we would have as few teeth as hockey players for sure.
All right, fellas, real quick, who do we got here tonight? Seattle or Vegas?
Seattle.
Who do you think takes this one?
Perlo bet
on Seattle?
Seattle first period and Seattle full game. Yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah, you bet money on them.
But don't listen to me because I haven't hit anything all night.
Yeah,
that's all right.
I think Vegas is gonna truck them, dude. I just think this is like the Capitals when they dropped their banner. They played the Boston Bruins and they beat them 7-0. And I just think Vegas, even though they're a young franchise, they had a lot of success, and so they've had a lot of disappointments in the playoffs. So I think this is going to be a trouncing by them, and would not be surprised if they just run Seattle right out of the building. And not because Seattle's not good, but you're just playing on. It's the last night you touch the cup. You've gotten your rings. Now it's time to defend it. You're good if barring somebody going down for injury. They got Mark Stone on game 1 for a change. Eichel is a year better. And look, again, I will attest to this. He should have won the Conn Smythe. I thought he was so good defensively. I can think of 3 times where he skated down with McDavid and took the puck right off his stick, threw it up the ice, and they scored off of it. It was just like amazing how well he played defense in that. And I think years now, people are going to go back and look at that and be like, we probably made a mistake giving that to Marsh or so. No offense. I know he ended up leading but I think if you take a goal away from him, wasn't Draisaitl number 2, and Draisaitl didn't even play in the finals. That's how good he was playing. So
the Vegas crowd is like I wish Toronto was, man, because you got the Vegas crowd. All the high rollers will come in. They'll spend the money just to get tickets to get into the game, but they won't be cheering and stuff too much because they're not really hockey fans. But then you got the diehard Vegas Golden Knight fans. But the Leafs are the same, man. They got the diehards, but they got the corporates, but it's never as loud in Toronto. And it sucks. That arena, nobody stands up and cheers like Vegas.
I'm going to tell you, this Vegas arena is jam-packed with regulars. The only reason why they don't do well on a nightly basis is because so many people in Vegas that love to go to the games work in the industry, so they work nights because that's when they're needed. So it's a little bit, they wait, they're doing tables or they're dealers, so they go on their nights off. But you see a lot. I talk to a lot of them, and they buy partial packages. That arena is off the chain. And I'll tell you, I went there for a Leafs game, and I would have thought, and I met a ton of Leafs fans at the hotel we were at. So I thought, there really wasn't that many Leaf fans. It was maybe, you figure Toronto, they're going to travel, and to Vegas, they're going to travel. Because I went to Tampa, and when the Leafs played them, and there were a lot of Leaf fans there for the Tampa, for a regular season and playoffs, because I did both. And I was surprised. No, the Vegas fans aren't going to get pushed out of their own arena, even though that's a destination city. They got a great fan base. And the difference between them and the other franchises there is they were born in Vegas. That's why their logo is, their hashtag and Twitter is Vegas born. Like the Raiders are from Oakland and they played in LA and blah, blah, blah. So that fan base is going to travel for 8 games. The Raiders are one of the,
How about Matty Beniers, number 1 line center in Seattle?
Not surprising.
What a second year, right?
Yeah, he won the Calder. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm just telling you, this kid, I wanted to get him in fantasy and was like, I should have taken him earlier. I ended up with Eberle. I'll tell you my fantasy real quick, Perlo, since you never did it. I try not to get too many players from the same team, like more than 2, and it's bad.
Yeah.
Did you?
I took 2 from Buffalo. Well, I got Tage Thompson and Jeff Skinner, so
that's not bad. They're both wingers and not a big deal. And I don't even think they play on the same line, so it's not the worst. That's not the worst. But if you had 2 centers from the same team, that kind of sucks. But it's such a deep roster. So I try not. Yeah, I try not to draft, and then I try not to draft anybody from my favorite team. So
I didn't draft any Leafs.
Yeah, I just stay away from Caps, and then because I still want those games to be enjoyable. So
yeah, and Red Wings.
Oh yeah, because you're a Wings fan too. Yeah, we got to give you that. Big game tomorrow. KQ says, KQ, what's the game you're talking about? I don't even know who's playing tomorrow. Let's see. I'm tickled pink that the Chicago Blackhawks beat Pittsburgh on opening night in Pittsburgh. I think we got a full slate of games tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, Rico, it's the Habs Leafs. Habs Leafs. Tune into Hot Take Hockey for Habs Leafs. I know I will be there.
You got to take the Habs.
Huh?
Toronto can't beat the Leafs. Toronto can't beat Montreal. They lose every time.
They do have a tough time beating Montreal. They do have a tough time beating Montreal. And you know what? Montreal, they got everybody healthy. So we'll see. I keep hearing people say Caulfield 50 goals. Look, he was on pace for 46. If he stays healthy, he easily gets 40, in my opinion. Senators Hurricanes is a banger, guys. That game's on at the same time. So I'll be watching Senators, Hurricanes, and Leafs and Habs, and then, you know, also Blackhawks play the Bruins tomorrow, so they got a back-to-back. Avalanche Kings. We will be live 6 p.m. Eastern, so we will be live during the Avalanche Kings because that game starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. So come check us
is
out.
not over 6.
Not Eastern. Not 6
That
Eastern.
game is not over 6. I give up on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
It's 10 p.m. Eastern. Avalanche Kings, 10 p.m. Eastern. I apologize. 10 p.m. Eastern. It'll be 8 o'clock your time, Perlo, and 6 o'clock my time. I'm sorry. I'm reading my times. I'm messing it up. I apologize. Yeah, because Canadians Maple Leafs is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. Senators Hurricanes is also at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blackhawks Bruins on TNT. So I'll be watching that game to get our first dose of Biz and Henrik, and now they have Brian Boucher. Okay. So Blackhawks Bruins also on TNT. Avalanche Kings. What a burner that's going to be. Both going to be playoff teams, both going to be Stanley Cup contending teams. Jets Flames. Sneaky good. That's also on at 6 p.m. Alaska Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. We will be live. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Jets going to be jazzed. Let's see. I'm real interested to see how.
How do you not take the Jets after they just signed Scheifele?
Flames come out, yep. And then Oilers Canucks. So we have 3 games going on at 10 p.m. We'll be talking about all of them. We'll have tons to talk about. If you're just joining us, this is The Beard. I'm joined by Perlo and Rico for NHL Nightly. We're going to be doing this 4 nights a week, Tuesday through Friday. They will be with me sometimes when they can because they're awesome dudes. Perlo is a gambler, handicapper, analytics nerd that lives in Edmonton, Alberta, and follows the game like it's one of his children. Rico is a former player and die-hard Toronto Maple Leafs fan with all the Ontario knowledge. He's reading the articles. He's scouring the radios. I will be your host. They will drive the show. We will talk.
I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. Maybe I'll be on for a little bit because
tomorrow's Wednesday. You're always with me Wednesday.
Wonderful. Yeah, but it's my beautiful, wonderful wife's birthday tomorrow.
Oh my God, you cannot be on. You're not allowed to be on. Do not show up. I will be mad at you.
Well, we usually get everything done fairly early. I might come on for an hour. I'll come on for a
Oh no, you are not allowed to come on. Tell your wife I am refusing to let you on tomorrow. You can't come on, man.
This is the reason why I'm married to this this wonderful lady, because she likes me to have fun and do what I want to do, and I like her to have fun
and you know what you let her do too? Aren't you letting her go to the Philippines too for a nice trip?
Yeah,
Didn't you mention something about
I saw that. I got confused. I'm so sorry. Hey, we're going to talk about ourselves on this show
for a month. Yeah,
we're going to talk about our families and our stuff on this show because we're people and we want to relate to you. We're not just animatronic robots. Okay, we're going to talk.
Yeah.
I got confused in our group Twitter chat. I was like, "Oh, cool! Perlo and his wife are going to the Philippines." And then I looked again. He's like, "No, I'll be on every night in November." And I'm like, he's not going. So your wife's going to the Philippines without you?
It's hockey season, man. I'm not going to 12-hour differential. I think I'm going
what
to
the fuck?
Not a chance.
Hey, we will swear too. I'm not going to put out warnings, but we will swear. What the fuck, Perlo? What the fuck? Why aren't you going to the Philippines with her? Who gives a fuck if it's hockey season? Bring your goddamn tablet and a VPN and you can watch the shit while you're there.
No.
No, I just talked to my buddy Sigsy, Dave Singer, retired Air Force guy. His wife is Korean. He was watching preseason. He's a diehard Devils fan. Singsy, good dude. Hopefully he comes into the chat one of these nights. We'll have him on the show. He's been on the show before.
Ever since
was
we've been
watching
married,
the games in Korea with his wife, man. You can go to the Philippines and watch the games, bro. They have internet
we've been
everywhere.
married for 10 years, and I don't think I haven't seen her for more than 2 days during that whole time. So it's not a
So
bad
you're gonna have a
thing.
trip. You're gonna have.
Sometimes
She's
you
just
need
gonna
a
have a
break.
trip without you. It's a
Sometimes
girls'
you
trip
need
then.
to kind of like get that fire going back again. You know, you get the So it's not a bad thing. It's okay. It's okay.
That's
So-
awesome. Hey,
What?
I got something to tell you. So I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, but when you mentioned it, Connor Bedard plays Pittsburgh tonight, plays Boston tomorrow night. If you got a minute, look ahead at Chicago's schedule to start the year.
It's brutal.
It's pretty brutal.
Dude, check out
Yeah.
their schedule if you
Yeah,
haven't
they don't have a
already.
home
That-
game until the 21st of October.
Dude,
It's the
and look at
11th.
who they're playing, man. Look at
Yeah.
who they're playing.
Dude, you know the league did that on purpose. Oh, you get Bedard, Chicago? We're going to put you through the meat grinder.
Fucking
Yeah,
famous
you're on
Oh,
a hello
I'm getting
tour to the
hammered
NHL,
tonight.
man.
I'll have it
I'm
pulled
getting
up when you come
destroyed
back,
on my-
Rico. I'll put
All right,
it
buddy.
up on the internet. Okay.
Okay.
See you in a bit. Okay. We're gonna pop Rico down. Okay, if you're
That
just
was a
joining us,
triple
Seattle
goal,
has gotten
Vegas.
5 shots on goal to Vegas' 0. I did not predict correctly.
Yeah, but they just scored. Vegas just scored.
Oh, you're ahead of me a little bit on the thing.
A
Okay.
beautiful play.
Oh,
Beautiful
yeah,
play.
a little nice pass from Holden to Stevenson.
Beautiful play.
Oh, just when the guy wanted, I think the guy Rico wanted to pick up. Yeah, I'm behind. Yeah, now I'm back. Yeah, at intermission, we will take probably a 10-minute break. I got to eat some dinner. So we'll take an intermission, but we'll keep the live stream up for the chat. So 12:39, Vegas up 1-0. I'll edit the banner here. I did think that we would see Vegas just being the team to beat,
I'm going out on this after this period. Usually, whatever.
Oh, you're
Hopefully
gonna be done for the night?
after this period. Yeah, I got to be up early in the morning. So
Yeah,
But,
you're good. You're good, Perlo. No problem. I appreciate you coming on. I don't think Rico
Come
will
on.
be with me the whole night either.
come on,
And if it's a
Don't let
blowout
me-
game, I'm not going to stay on.
don't
we
let
have
me
people-
get skunked tonight. Jeez. Crazy.
So this is what I started to get a little nervous about Seattle. And this is why I started to be a little bit wavery on them. Is they did lose Sprong, who I think, did he have 30 goals? And Donato is another guy I like that they lost. And then Carson Soucy, him leaving and then him going to Vancouver is just crazy. Right now, Vegas is buzzing. Vegas doesn't look very good, but they've gotten a couple turnovers and then got some really good scoring chances off the rush.
Yeah, but now they got the pace going.
Yeah, they look
got
like
a
they're
little-
finding their
they're a
legs.
little
Probably a little
slow,
bit
but
too
not
much
the
standing
pace.
around in gear, hoisting the cup. Those pregame ceremonies, I think, last a little bit longer. Your legs lactate a little bit. I get the impression, like, I get a little bit like, oh, okay, let's end this. And I'm not playing in the game, so I can only imagine the Vegas players were probably a little bit dogged. They look like they're finding their legs now. I obviously did not win my parlay, but no big deal there. And yeah, we're gonna rock as long as we have people. I feel like if we go 2 hours, I'll go 2 hours, but it's 11:15.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish up
Oh, we got a
first.
penalty
I got to
here.
be up at 4 a.m. So
No, you're good, Perlo. You can leave whenever. If it's a great game, I'm going to stay till the end, regardless if I have my co-hosts. Again, I'll play the thing. Right now, we're on a commercial break. It's Vegas up 1-0. Is that Vegas took a penalty though, right? Earlier scores in the game are down on the ticker. We got Tampa Bay winning 5-3 over Nashville and their home opener, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are beaten brutally bad. No, it was a great game. Chicago wins in Pittsburgh's home opener 4-3. Let's bring our main man Rico back up. Did you get to see the goal? The Vegas Golden Knights up 1-0.
I didn't see it, but I took Carlson instead of Stevenson, man. And I got a trade pending for him. I don't know why I took God, I know. Like 5 minutes after our draft, I'm like, what the hell did I just do?
So another strategy is a lot of people don't draft centers because there's so many available. Like if you don't get obviously McDavid, the top Matthews, whatever, the top centers in the league, that you go with wingers, and there's always a lot of good centers. That's a great point you just bring up. Chandler Stevenson didn't get drafted.
I know, man.
So,
and he's a second line center, and Carlson's a third line center. I don't know why I did that, but you know who's got a good team there? And if you check out his profile, he's won trophies and everything. His brother, Hot Take,
Hey,
is that like Hot Take's brother?
Well, that's Thomas. That's Thomas, I think. Thomas Viv. Yeah. So hey, I won the first year I played in the league. I won the league. I've won a championship.
Yeah.
So,
but dude, I loved your message when you're like, we're not all going to be GMs in the NHL. Calm down.
Oh
man.
my God, Zeta was
one guy was getting worked right up.
Zeta, I hope you come in. Great dude, Joseph Zeta. He works in Toronto and does something in sports, I believe. He covers the Blue Jays a lot. I think he's a good follow on Twitter for you Toronto fans. Dude was pissed that he didn't draft Konechny because plus minus wasn't enough negative or positive points. Dude, who the F cares? It is online fantasy hockey. And even if we paid so it was going to be a pay league. I don't know if Hot Take Hockey, $20 per person. I'm paying your guys' fee. So you don't have to worry about it. But if whoever wins, anyway, I don't think Hot Take set it up that way. I don't know if we have it. I think there's some younger kids in there too. So it's like, probably not a money league or anything. I've never played for money, but who cares? It just makes it fun. It's just another addition. I mean, in the end, if we all did $20, 20 times 12, and you give first, second, and third or something some money.
I mean, I'd throw in $20 because then it just reminds you to set your lineup every week and not just.
So I wanted to tell you, you can push a button on your app that says set the lineup for the week, and it'll automatically do it. And if there's any errors, you can just go back and look. But basically, especially early in the year, there's so many games staggered. You're not going to have a bunch of players playing on the same night. So you really won't have any decisions to make, like who you want to have in, who you want to have out, because you'll have one, it's a huge team. I've never played fantasy where we've had 3, 3, 3, 5, and a utility.
Yeah.
2 goalies starting. That's why I drafted 3 goalies. And I'm low on D. I could probably use another D, but
how many teams did Perlo put in?
One. One really bad team.
No, we only have one team. Yeah, his team does not look great.
I don't have enough defense, but I only have one goaltender.
Yeah, you got to go get you a goalie, buddy. You need to figure that out, and you need
I got to figure out how to do that yet. So.
Yeah, it's easy. Just go into the players that weren't drafted and make a waiver claim and drop somebody that you don't have, that you think you can live without, because you're going to need the points. The key, I'll tell you, the number one key in fantasy hockey is just being engaged and paying attention to like who's doing what. Because last year, Jason Robertson didn't get drafted. I drafted him. I guess he started the year on IR or something, but I drafted him. Or I picked him up after the draft because I auto-drafted last year. I didn't even get to draft my team. They did it while I was in Vegas. But and I think I ended up 4th or 5th last year. But I won it the first year I played with these guys. And this is a little different group, a little bit more hockey minds and stuff. So I think it's going to be tough for anybody to win it. Yeah, Hot Take Hockey himself is pretty good, but Thomas Viv is good. So, but I played with him, I think, the first year, and I won. So we'll see. But I just say if you set your lineup and you stay engaged, you will always find, like Chandler Stevens available. Go get him.
I got to
put a waiver claim on it right now. Yeah, I would do it, but I'm like, I got so many centers, like I don't really need them.
No,
but somebody's going to hear this.
Had a nice backhand on the net. Like Stevenson's going to be a fucking and he just had a wicked backhander chance on the net. Like the guy's a lot better than Carlson.
Stanley Cup champion Chandler Stevenson was on the 18 Caps. The Caps traded him for a 5th round pick, and I wish they would have kept him. I wish they would have traded Kuznetsov and kept Chandler Stevenson.
You know Who's going to win the Bill Masterson this year? You know what I was thinking about in Hot Take took him on D? Because didn't he not play most of the year last year? Was John Carlson in Washington?
I think wasn't he? Yeah, he could. He could. Yeah. Hot Take Hockey always drafts D that he loves. And so he made sure he got Morgan Riley.
Comes back.
Mm-hmm.
If Pacioretty comes back, I would say.
Yeah, so I think he's starting a year on the IR. So I think he's not going to play I'll tell you right now, he's not coming back quick because he came back right on time with that Achilles and it ruptured the exact same one because it hadn't healed. So they said that never happens. So that's like what I said to Aaron Rodgers blew out his Achilles. I was like, he's not back this year. What?
Here's one for you that nobody's talking about. Spencer Knight.
Who?
Spencer Knight went through the whole program.
Oh, yeah.
But Florida has them. You know what? Florida, I think one of the reasons Florida has some cap problems, right? So they started him in the minors. Even they have cap problems.
I think they did that just to get him some starts.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be up.
But if you went through the whole program, apparently he had a obsessive compulsive disorder or something like that.
Oh, that's why he went. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I heard.
That might be a good thing for a goalie, though, right?
So that kind of thing right now is all the rage, right? Like mental health issues and stuff. So if he can come back and he can do well, you'd see him being in there for the Masters.
Or Drouin.
Oh yeah,
Drouin would be a good one too.
He went through the same.
That would be a great story for Drouin to come back and go with his.
I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to get 20.
I have a feeling of that too. I do too. Yeah.
Did he get drafted in our league? He did, didn't he?
I
don't think he did.
I can't remember.
I'll look. Okay, if you're just joining us, it's 8-5 in favor of Seattle, but they're down 1-0. 7:49 left to go in the first. We will take a break at intermission. Perlo is going to be leaving us. Rico, I don't know. Can you stay and hang out?
I could probably hang out for a bit.
Yeah, just do what you want to do. I really appreciate it. And I'll finish it out if it's a good game. I could do play-by-play, or we could talk, or we could bring callers on and talk hockey because that's what it's all about. You could talk about your team. I am checking right now to see if somebody drafted. I think I saw him. I think I might have even tagged him as a guy that I was like, yeah, this is a guy I think maybe might be a good guy. Because I think he plays wing too. And he had not a great year last year, did he?
You know who the guys that drafted him?
Nicholas's notable team drafted him. Yeah.
The multiple position guys, like the guys that say center, left wing, or left wing, right wing. Like
right. Those are the most valuable. Those are also so valuable. You know what's more valuable, especially if you play. That's why I like a smaller team. When you get a guy who plays D and forward, because that every once in a while you have a guy, Dustin Byfuglien or somebody, that they play at both positions. And that guy is so valuable, especially when you can only start 2 guys. And if you play in a league with like 10 dudes and you only have it's not as big a roster. So you got players on the bench that can make a difference sometimes. So it's really good if you have versatile. Yeah, left wing, right wing, center. That guy is the best. If you have a guy like Draisaitl, he fell to 4. I'm like, he plays left wing and center. It's great. If I got a bunch of centers that I can play, and I don't have any left wings, I can just move Draisaitl to the left wing. You know what I'm saying? So
there's nobody that plays D and forward anymore in the NHL, is there?
No, not right now, but in the years past, you know.
Remember it was Dandino when he played for Detroit.
Sorry.
Dandino? Yeah, that was
Matthew
Dandino. He was one of the best at that.
Matthew Dandino. Yeah. We played for Toronto and Montreal.
He was one of the best guys that could do. What's his name from Winnipeg and Chicago? Defenseman retired way too early.
Byfuglien. He mentioned that earlier.
Byfuglien. Yeah. I said Byfuglien. Yeah.
Yeah.
He played D. I mean, he finished his career as a D man, but he played when he won the cup with Chicago, he played forward. That's how deep they were on D. They're like, why don't you play some forward?
Burns was a good forward. Burns, when they played him forward in San Jose, he was really good.
Yeah, but he's not doing
Yeah,
that.
he had a 30-goal season as a forward.
I think Rico is more saying like you know, I was always kind of surprised they didn't try Mike Green at forward.
No, Vegas scored again.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, he put it in as his own net. Tanev dumped it. That was not Marchessault. Unless he deflected it. I think Tanev went to play it around the boards. I think we have an own goal situation here, folks. Jonathan Marchessault is going to get credit for the goal. 2-0. Oh, my wife.
Yeah.
Vegas is lighting it up, as Scar B says in the chat. Thank you for being here, Scar B. Appreciate
I think William Karlsson was on the ice. I think a +1 counts in our
fantasy. Tanev threw it. He was going to throw it around, and Marchessault deflected it in. He put his stick in the way, and oh my God! So Marchessault definitely attributed to the goal. He deflected it in. Wow! And like I said, Vegas is on. I just know, Perlo, I wish you'd have talked to me before you laid the bet. I would have told you I have a bad feeling about Seattle in this game. And I'm wearing, shout out, by the way, I supported Hot Take Hockey most of the night. Check out his merch. I still have his hat on. This is Emerald City Hockey Podcast. RJ Econos, Dylan Travers. They are cool dudes. RJ covers the team. He's there, a reporter with the press pass. He goes to all the games and interviews the coach. So if you want comprehensive Seattle Kraken, guys, we're going to be cool dudes, BS hockey, talk the games. They're going on for that evening, 4 nights a week, Tuesday through Friday. Sometimes Perlo, sometimes Rico. Leave a like, subscribe, get in here, talk some hockey. I'll drop the link. We'll take calls. You can come on screen. You don't have to come on screen. But we're going to enjoy it. Tomorrow's going to be epic. Rico, are you with me tomorrow? Perlo's not allowed to come because it's his wife's birthday.
I'll be on for a bit, probably.
Okay. So
yeah, I'll probably be watching hockey, so I can jump on.
Yeah, again, 10 p.m. Eastern, man, your time. I know it's late. I know you work a little bit more of a flexible schedule, but I really appreciate it. And honestly, I want to hear what you guys have to say. And you guys
actually 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock my time isn't bad because my wife wakes up at 5 anyway, so she's gone to bed a little early and gives me a little bit of quiet time. So it's all right because I usually stay up till around midnight anyway.
Well, look, I mean, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we have Avalanche Kings, Jets Flames, and Oilers Canucks. And I'm interested in all three of those games. They're going to be going on at the same time. I'm going to have to bring in my iPads and stands because I don't have enough screens in here to watch 3 games at the same time. But I do it because I love hockey and I get to see.
I'm going to want to see that Winnipeg Calgary game. I just that there's so much intrigue in that game. You got a new coach for Calgary. You got new players for Winnipeg after trade Dubois. And Scheifele and Hellebuyck getting their new contracts. I just have a feeling that's going to be one. It's going to be a kind of like a barn burner. I think that's going to be a really good game. That one. Edmonton, Vancouver. I got to take Edmonton the over there, but I just like the Winnipeg. I don't know why. I like that game tomorrow. I like that game. I'm going to have to come on for a bit for that game, I think.
Oh yeah, I'll say this. I'm very interested in that game too. However, that being said, I'm watching Avalanche Kings. One, because it's on TNT.
Yeah.
That is gonna be a good game. And both those teams have questions in goal. Colorado might have the second deepest team defensively as far as their defensive core. I think behind Carolina. I don't know why people think Colorado is a better one. But I like McCarr, but he just can't stay healthy the whole year. And then Byram is still a big question for me. Yeah. Oh, dang. Anyway, you know what I was thinking, guys? Let's just end the stream after the first anyway. Perlo is going to leave. We got a show again tomorrow. We're going to talk so much hockey. It is 2-0 Vegas. I feel like it's a good place to leave it tonight. One, because we streamed a little early, and we'll have gone 2 hours, which is, I want to not kill my voice because this is going to it is hard to talk. So make sure you guys are drinking some tea with some honey, because if you come on 4 nights a week, you're going to notice it. I'm feeling it. And it is the season of flu and all that. By the way, again, I hope everybody had a happy Canadian Thanksgiving for all you that celebrated it. Ours is coming up. It's my favorite holiday. We eat food and watch football. This year, I don't think I'll be able to.
Columbus Day.
What?
We
did have Columbus Day. Yeah, we have Columbus Day. Yeah. Blair says Kale is his favorite player and he will stay healthy. All right. Well, I hope you're right, Blair. I mean, I love Kale McCarr. But yeah, we'll end the stream after the first. I got to eat some dinner anyway, so we're going to take a little bit of a break. It's 8 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. That means it's midnight Eastern Standard Time, or quarter to midnight Eastern Standard Time for our main man, Rico and Barry. Get all that East Coast perspective, the hub of hockey in Toronto. Got my main man, Pearl of Wisdom, the perennial Stanley Cup favorite this year is the Edmonton Oilers, followed by the Vegas Golden Knights. The problem? They're in the same division.
I have the Devils.
Huh?
I have the Devils. Devils Vegas.
Yeah.
Devils Vegas.
You got Vegas repeating to the finals, huh? Boy, Devils are a team too. I think their window, I just think they are going to explode. I think they came on the scene last year and nobody thought they were going to be a playoff team, and now they are. Seattle's scrambling a little bit. 2 minutes left to go, and Vegas has just about scored their third goal. Like I said, oh man, another great scoring chance. Like I said, Vegas doesn't look like they've been skipped a beat, and I think they've got a couple of rookies they're hoping to step up. I don't think they're going to miss Riley Smith.
I think Carolina, Dallas.
Boy, that would be a good one too, man. And man, I'll tell you what, I like Dallas in that, honestly, because I still have questions about Carolina's scoring, and people are like, oh, they didn't have Svechnikov, but they have injury problems with those guys, Aho, Svechnikov. So, and Carolina's there every year. I could easily see if Carolina played Edmonton, I think they could beat them in the final.
You know what the thing is? Carolina has 2 number 1 goalies. Well, when you take a Ranton Anderson, but then they have a third guy.
Yeah, Kochetkov. Kochetkov. Yeah,
any one of those guys they got depth in goal, they got depth at D, they got depth at forward. Carolina's deep, man, and I think it's their year to win the cup.
Carolina.
Yeah, you know what? They've had some disappointment. Like, I could see it. I'll tell you too. Perlo's gonna say I'm crazy, but I like the bite Toronto added, man. I feel like they're young. I think Bertuzzi is gonna go off. He's gonna earn himself a 9-10 million. I'll tell you what. I think Bertuzzi is gonna give the Leafs pause on re-signing
Nylander.
Yeah. I think that's the kind of year he's going to have. I think with him being on the same line that's what that line's been. If it's Matthews, Marner, and Bertuzzi.
Well, Bertuzzi's like a Bunting on steroids.
Yeah, he's better. He's a better player. He's tougher. Look, I'm not trying to. Bunting was a pest. I liked his game, actually. And I think he's going to do really well in Carolina. He's going to fit.
But he was built like a bird.
Structure. He could have a good year too, like a really good year. I think he was kind of a bar. I actually kind of expected him to sign a bigger ticket because I was like, I thought somebody might overpay. I just think, again, the cap situation for everybody. I don't know, man. Like, I think Bunting's going to have a hell of a year. Like I said, I'm all about your Carolina pick. I love it. Yeah, let's give her Stanley Cup picks. We'll finish out the night. We got Vegas up 2-0 opening night. We talked Nashville, Tampa. That game was a 5-3 victory for Tampa in their home opener. We talked Pittsburgh, Chicago. Bedard looked good. Pittsburgh looked gold. Chicago wins 4-2 in Pittsburgh's home opener. We got Vegas raising the banner. I said they were going to smash Seattle just because, like, the Caps beat Boston, and I think later in that year, Boston was a better team. And obviously made it further because didn't Boston make the Cup final in 2019? Well, we beat their ass 7-0 opening night, the night we raised the banner. And I say we, I mean the Washington Capitals, a team that I did follow closely. And now that I'm doing this for a living, I'm going to cover all the teams equally and fairly. And I'm excited. You know, anybody but my team I want to see. I want to see something I haven't seen. I want to see somebody who hasn't won the Cup in a while or ever. So could we have a Canadian curse end? You know? So I don't have a Stanley Cup pick yet. I don't know. Rico, you expound upon your pick.
Carolina Hurricanes. Depth on D. They added Orlov. And like you said, Bunting.
And D'Angelo.
D'Angelo, which I took in my Hot Take Hockey YouTube fantasy pool from Yahoo. I got D'Angelo. He had, he did a lot when he was in Carolina. As soon as he left there, he got a little bit of a problem with Tortorella, which is Perlo's favorite coach in the league. But I think Freddie Anderson, sneaky if he can stay healthy. Ranta.
And Kochetkov.
And Kochetkov. I mean, Aho might have a breakout year too if he hasn't already. They got a lot of depth at forward. Jordan Stahl's there for leadership. Brett Burns is there still too. Slavin, man. They go up and down the lineup. Nietzsche's Nasus. I mean, dude, yeah.
He's going to be a UFA after next year, too. He's going to be an interesting guy. Because I think now with the cap, a lot of teams are going to be cap. He's going to be a real interesting cap.
Seth Jarvis. Thank you, Patrick Marleau. Yeah, I mean, dude.
Don't guarantee the Leafs would have drafted Seth Jarvis. Chances are they wouldn't have. So that's what you need to tell yourself.
Carolina Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup over the Dallas Stars.
Nice. I love the pick. Perlo.
I love Brindy. I love Brindamore, great coach, but you can't play straight man-on-man for 82 games and still have – I don't care. I know he has these guys as fit as they can possibly get. Stop it with the straight man-on-man all year long. They're dead by the time they get to the playoffs. They're dead. And that's the reason why I don't think Carolina's going to make it unless he adjusts, starts playing a hybrid zone every once in a while and taking it easy on these guys. He's a great motivator and everything, but people wonder why they can't score in the playoffs because by the time they get the puck on their stick, they're done. They're tired. And until I see otherwise, I can't take Carolina. Now, with Ruff plays a zone defense with New Jersey, and they do so fantastic. The only thing is their inexperience, of course, right? It could be one more year. And I don't trust Vanacek, and I don't trust Schmid. I hope they go get more goaltending. I don't know. But I haven't seen a top 12 could play two ways like that a long time.
So your pick is the Devils? I'm confused. You were talking about.
I'm taking the Devils to win, but I'm concerned about their goaltending. However, if Vegas can do what they did
We spent a lot of time talking about Carolina, so I was.
Perlo talks about the bad things about the Devils and why they're going to win.
Until Carolina stop playing man-on-man every single game, I don't think they're going to have I don't think they're going to be able to make it through. I just don't. And I love Brady.
That's okay. I didn't ask who you thought wasn't going to make it through. I asked who your cup pick was. And so you could just expound on the Devils. And
Perlo knows too much about hockey.
I want to take Carolina, but that's the reason why I'm not taking Carolina. I'm taking the Devils, and I think they're probably going to play Vegas. It's going to be Devils-Vegas final.
Okay. I love it. I don't have a pick. I was leaning Colorado Leafs final, Colorado.
You want to take
gets it.
Toronto. You want to take
But
Toronto.
I will say this. Yeah, I do want to take Toronto, but I don't want to be like, you jinxed them if they lose in the first round or something, which they easily do.
Don't you
I
want
don't know if I
Vegas to
trust
win again?
Toronto, man. I don't know if I trust them in the playoffs, but what they were missing in the playoffs was grit and a little bit of edginess, especially against Florida. I thought they actually played a pretty gritty thing against Tampa. They were able to match their physicality a little bit, having watched them play a little bit in person. I was impressed. They won the game I was there for, too. It was overtime. That place was you could hear a pin drop. So I think everybody in there expected Tampa to win, and it was a shock. So, but we'll see. Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Toronto's decor. Toronto's decor was better last year than this year. The Klingberg's got to stay healthy, and Toronto did put some good guys on the back end, but they. Yeah, I know he's hurt.
Yeah, I we'll see. I think if Giordano averages 16 minutes a night, then Toronto's
40 years
great
old.
shape.
And Liljegren's makes stupid mistakes. Giordano's 40 years old. Sure, you got Riley Brody. McCabe's a stay-at-home guy, and Klingberg's health and defensive issues. It's a question in Toronto, and that's the only one I have. Hopefully, Samsonov just holds his own back there, but they're gonna have the offense. Toronto's gonna play to a lot of over games. I think they're gonna be in track meets with teams. There's going to be some high scoring. It'll be fun hockey again in Toronto, that's for sure. Because Perlo, remember, Perlo's favorite, Domi don't back check.
Oh, no, not even a little bit. Domi doesn't even know what defensive end of the ice is. No idea.
I think we're going to see the best Max Domi that we've ever seen. And I'll tell you why. One, he's from there. He knows that media is going to make him play like he wants to shove it up their beehole. I'm just telling you, they're going to call him out on his bad play on the defensive side.
Because they have Sheldon Keefe as the coach who doesn't give a crap. I'm sorry. They're not.
Did you see the picture with Ty Domi and Max Domi and Marner and Matthews and all the boys who went out? I can't remember if it was last night or
the Drake
concert. To the Drake concert. Yeah,
I did see it,
and I guess Drake brought Ty Domi right on the stage or something too, huh?
Yeah, Ty Domi has more fun.
No team has more fun off the ice than the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're rock stars.
What? On that note, let's play the new intro and call it a night. Thank you for coming
Besides
in, guys.
maybe the New York Rangers.
Oh, Rangers. Panarin better not have any more fun off the ice.
Panarin.
NHL Nightly with your host, the sportsman, a.k.a. Pierre Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Perlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barrie.